Hello, my name is Melissa Daniels and I have strabismus, and I have had strabismus since I was a very small baby. And strabismus is when your eyes aren't pointing straight, like you can see in this picture here. And through my life, I have been through so much trying to get my eyes to work together to help me basically be my best self, right? To be able to read and to be able to play sports and drive and all these important things. And it has been a journey and I have learned so much. And there's a lot that I wish I would have known as a kid. And I work as a vision therapist now, and I see so many kids in our office that don't know why they're there, that they kind of like, my vision's fine, like I'm doing good. So I wanted to create a part of Strabismus to Stereopsis, this YouTube channel, where I have some videos that are for kids that can help them kind of understand what's going on with their vision and explain it in an interesting way. So that's what this video is about. And there's going to be a series we're going to be coming out with, one video every few weeks that goes in the kids corner, where we're going to just be talking about some of the basics of strabismus and what kids can do. Go over to learn.strabismussolutions.com, and there you can get a lot of different resources. You can even sign up for a Zoom call with me and learn more about what you can be doing right now. Today, I want to talk to you about what strabismus is. And yes, this is going to be geared towards kids, so I'm talking to kids right now, but adults, obviously you can listen to. Sometimes having visuals is really helpful, and adults like that too. So I want you to think of jumping on a trampoline. And I got my daughter and her friend to volunteer for this video. This is them jumping on the trampoline. And I want you to think of each of these girls is one of your eyeballs. And if you're jumping on the trampoline and you're not jumping together, you're just kind of like doing your own thing, it can be really difficult. You might even fall down. And this is really similar to like how strabismus can develop. You start as this baby and it's like your eyes are just like kind of ping-ponging. They're not working together. Your brain's not using them. And there's a lot of different reasons why, but that's the basic idea, is it's just like this, like, things are not working. This is not good. Okay. And so our brain is like, I don't like this ping pong feeling. This doesn't feel good. This feels terrible. And so our brain has this amazing solution. And so you've probably done this on a trampoline when you're trying to do a flip or do something really cool and you can't because there's too many people on a trampoline. What do? You have one person stay in the middle and everyone else goes to the side. And while those people are on the side, you can do all sorts of cool tricks and flips, and it's so much easier because you're not fighting the other person. So this is kind of what our eyes do, right? And instead of having this like fighting, arguing situation, the brain's just like, we're going to take turns. Right now, it's this person's turn. This eyeball is going to have the turn, and this eyeball is going to stay over here. And now we're going to take turns the other direction. Okay, now it's this person's turn, and they're going to have their turn while this one stands on the side. And that's kind of what our brain does, is it kind of makes the eyes take turns instead of learning how to jump together. And what this creates is this brain and these eyes that aren't reaching their full potential. So ideally, you would get both of your eyes jumping at the same time or working at the same time and working together, bouncing together. Now, if you've ever done this before with someone on the trampoline, if you start jumping together, that's when you can get those really high super bounces. And I guess it only bounces one person, so it doesn't exactly work with the analogy, but that's the idea, that you want these eyes working together. Somebody who doesn't have strabismus, this kind of just happens automatically. They open their eyes and their eyes aren't fighting against each other. Their eyes just work together naturally. They don't even have to try and put in this effort. And for those of us with strabismus, that's just not the case. Our eyes, there's a lot of different ways of having strabismus and having these eyes that aren't working together, but it's this constant fighting, and it requires so much effort, and you don't even know, because this is what you're used to. This has been your whole life. I didn't even realize that there was anything going on until I was way older. And once you get way older, guess what happens? It gets way harder to fix. It's so much easier when you're a kid. And so like that's part of the trouble, is that you're like, no, my vision's fine. Like, this is normal. And what you don't realize is that you've got one person on the side, one eye on the side that's not really doing anything, and one eye that's probably doing all the work. One eye is getting all the bouncing, right? And if you can get both eyes working together, and really coordinating together, it makes everything so much easier. It makes reading easier. It makes going up and down stairs easier. It makes driving, like when you go to get a driver's license and you want to drive, being able to see the depth, it's like, it's so much easier and so much safer. It's definitely easier to just ignore it and just to take turns, right? Like that is easier to just take turns. But if you're willing to do the work and to learn how to use those eyes together, it is so much more fun. You will love the way the world looks in 3D. So that is what strabismus is. So when you're wondering, what is this again? Think of that trampoline and think, okay, are my eyes fighting against each other? And then they're just taking turns to try to make it easier. We want them working together. That is what's going to make your vision in your life so much easier. So next time we are going to talk all about amblyopia and what that is. So be sure to keep an eye out for that video, and we will see you next time.